Welcome to part 2 of dealing with enforcement notices, where we're going to be looking at lodging appeals. My name's Sylvie Wright, I'm part of the support team here at Finch Consulting, and I've got Sue Dearden with me, a specialist health and safety solicitor at Finch Consulting. So we're going to start by asking Sue, how do you start the appeal process?
First of all, you have to get the appeal lodged in time. There's a really strict timescale for dealing with this. You only have 21 days for appealing a notice, and day 1 is the day that you're served. So realistically, you start looking at this on day 2 already of your 21-day period. And if you miss that deadline, it's pretty much fatal to the appeal. So remember, you've got this very strict period, and it's a good idea to just make sure that within your organisation, because the notices can be literally handed to anybody when an inspector is walking round, make sure that everybody knows that if they're served with a piece of paper by the HSE, they know who they escalate it to, and that person knows how time is of the essence and they need to escalate it quickly. Typically, I will get instructed on day 17 or day 18 of that 21-day period. It goes by very fast. Lodge your appeal within time is the first thing.
So how likely are you to succeed if you do lodge an appeal?
Many of the appeals that we lodge are resolved through negotiation, so it can be resolved in that way. If it's going to be an appeal that's for tactical reasons, then it doesn't really matter what grounds you use or how you pursue it. The idea is to just buy more time or buy negotiating time with the HSE. But your question was, how likely is it to succeed? You need to have good grounds to succeed. There isn't a particular format that you need to follow for lodging an appeal. Literally an email to the tribunal attaching a copy of the notice saying you want to appeal is enough to get the appeal moving forwards.
So if you're not appealing tactically, what would be good grounds for an appeal?
So the grounds that if you're not using an appeal for tactical reasons, would be that there was no breach of the duty identified in the notice. That's a catch-all ground. You could argue that there was a technical defect with the notice, and that would negate it. With prohibition notices, you could argue that there was no risk of serious personal injury, or there was no risk of serious personal injury going forwards, and on that basis the tribunal wouldn't have issued it. So that would be another good ground. Just important to remember that the tribunal is not restricted in looking at an appeal at what the inspector knew or could have reasonably known at the time that the notice was served. If you can prove that there was no actual risk at the time, that would be a good ground for appealing, and you should succeed. Often expert evidence will help with that, but just remember that anything done to put things right after the notice has been served isn't going to help and wouldn't be good grounds for getting the notice discharged. What's relevant is what was the position at the time of service of the notice.
Thank you, Sue. If I can just summarise, if you receive a notice, you need to comply with it, or negotiate altered terms and comply, or you can appeal it within 21 days.
Yeah, and the first day of the 21 days is the day you receive it.
Okay, thank you. And an appeal is to the employment tribunal, isn't it? And it can be used tactically because there's no fee to pay for issue, and wording can be very simple to get it going.
Yes.
Issuing of an appeal will suspend an improvement notice.
Yes.
But not a prohibition notice.
That's right.
Okay, and it can allow you more time to negotiate on it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want your appeal to succeed, or you want to suspend a prohibition notice before the final hearing, then independent expert evidence is usually needed.
Yeah, very much so.
Which is where I know the Finch experts come in. Finch has a range of engineering, occupational hygiene and health and safety experts. Some of our experts used to be HSE inspectors themselves, so we've certainly got the expertise here at Finch Consulting to help you.
That's it in a nutshell. Thank you.